Scooping, as scary a top three in the order as you'll find anywhere in America.
Arizona is known for having an explosive top of the lineup, especially with those slappers. Reagan Shockey doing such a good job this season of setting the table and getting on.
That's slapped through. And there you go. Reagan Shockey, the freshman, after an 0 for 3 night on Friday, gets aboard with the leadoff single off of Jayla Torrance on her senior day, looking for a little senior day redemption following a loss against South Alabama.
Jayla Torrance started the game earlier today and will start the game here again on her senior day. Has a lot of velocity, can move the ball. Her curve is her best pitch. I think she does really well when she moves that curveball through the zone because it's really tough for hitters to, number one, time up, and two, to see because it moves so much. But she also has a changeup and lots of experience for this staff. She is the most experienced pitcher that they have.
And facing Dakota Kennedy, the sophomore from Sacramento, California. 1 for 3 last night. And you see Marley Giles behind the plate popping up. That's because Shockey is a speed threat. 5 for 5 in stolen bases this year. And now a 3-0 from Torrance. Green light, fouled away. Full count.
You can already just feel the energy in this stadium around this game. Last night you mentioned the questionable call to end the game. Both teams today going to put their best on the field to try to win this game.
Got her. That is a big strikeout. And Shockey still at first, 1 down.
What a pitch from Jayla Torrance to strike out the all Pac-12 Dakota Kennedy. It's a curveball on the outside corner at her knees. Tries to start it outside and run it back in. Really good pitch.
Jayla Torrance, like we said, got the start, took the loss against South Alabama. Now facing an Arizona team that entered the weekend top 5 in the country in batting average. Not a surprise to see the Wildcats bouncing back after missing the tournament last year under the third-year head coach Caitlin Lowe. One of the legends of the game, one of the best center fielders ever to play this sport.
There's no one better to lead this Arizona program than Caitlin Lowe. She has so much passion for the game, for the program, played with Team USA, so much experience, and she's been through it all. So no doubt she's got her team ready to go today.
Carly Scoopin hits that to second. Hevlin will fire to second, and there, oh, that's a little late, and Scoopin's called safe. That was about to be a heck of a double play, and Patrick Murphy perhaps thinking about using a challenge here.
What a play. He's asking his players if she was for sure out. They believe she is, so they're going to go to a review.
Well, I guess it makes sense that last night's game ended on a review and this one begins on one.
If this is overturned, it will be a heck of a play from Alabama.
Frankly, I was initially surprised to even see Hevlin look at second with the speed of Shockey, but we'll take a look and see if perhaps the throw from Cahalan did indeed beat Scoopin.
I was as well because the ground ball wasn't necessarily well hit. It didn't get to Callie Hevlin very fast, and Reagan Shockey was well past her. But great footwork, good throw over to second, and a good turn by Cahalan. It's about as close as it can get.
I can't believe this is happening again.
I can't predict a review. I will wait to see.
I'll tell you what, I think similar to last night, it does probably mean a good bit to how this call will go that she was ruled safe on the field.
I agree with you, and we see that with almost every review. It's always stressed that they have to have enough evidence to overturn it.
And we do have a call.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. The runner is safe.
And she is safe at first. Scoop and beat it out.
See one more look here. Scoopin, trying to get down the line. Just beats it by a hair. That is close.
It's a great angle by our crew to catch that one. And I do think they got that one right. So the inning continues with DiNardo at the plate, and she was a menace for Alabama pitching last night, the sophomore from San Mateo, California. Back to Torrance. Inning over. Arizona strands a runner, and we're scoreless. Going to the bottom of the first. South Alabama earlier today, so some shifts for the Crimson Tide, and Abby Dukeshire has moved up to the 2 spot.
Abby Dukeshire has been one of the most consistent and productive bats in this lineup, so not shocked to see her moving up, get her maybe even more at bats, and Bailey Dowling right behind her trying to protect her.
It's a lot of righties in a row for the Crimson Tide, and then the 3 lefties down there at the bottom. And a freshman arm in the circle for Arizona, Brooke Mannon, against Jenna Johnson. Mannon out of West Jefferson, Ohio, last year's Ohio Gatorade Player of the Year, a highly rated recruit, and coming in and pitching in a big spot for her Wildcats.
Mannon throws hard, going to be in those high 60s. Just saw that changeup. But this is arguably the biggest start of her career so far in front of a large crowd. So we'll see how she responds.
Jenna Johnson looking for a response as well. Tough outing earlier today, 0 for 3. Left 3 on base against South Alabama. Average still strong at 333 on the year, OBP at 538. That's a tricky grounder, but guess who handles it? It's Allie Skaggs, the Gold Glover. 1 down.
Really good movement there from Allie Skaggs. Originally thought that was going to get in the 3-4 hole. And Jenna Johnson has some speed, but no problem for the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year, Allie Skaggs.
Here's Abby Dukeshire. The difference last night with that 2-run homer. And she fouls off the first pitch. Sophomore from Kindred, North Dakota. You see the numbers last year, 257, batting average, 2 RBIs. This season hitting .414 with 22 ribbies.
So much growth from Abby Dukeshire over the offseason. You can tell she is swinging it with confidence, seeing it so well, but the jump in those numbers is astounding.
Tomahawked to third. Behringer's got it. 2 away. In steps the senior Bailey Dowling. 1 for 2 with a walk last night against Arizona. This time attacks the first pitch and pops it up. And Beal makes the catch to end the inning. We're through 1. No, 8-time national champion. 23 trips to OKC as coach for Team USA. yesterday ended his tenure as the interim athletic director in Tucson. And so awesome to see him make the trip out with the team. It was great catching up with him yesterday, and just truly one of the greats in all of college sports, let alone softball.
He has led the way for college softball the entire time, 36 seasons as head coach. And when you think about the fact that Arizona is celebrating 50 years of softball this year, 23 Women's College World Series appearances really stands out to me. That's averaging a trip every other year.
Just absurd. And Patrick Murphy and Coach Kendrea, longtime friends. Shep out to right. One down. We talked to Coach Murphy before the game last night, and he said, you know, one of his favorite stories back in 2000 at the World Series, a reporter in Oklahoma City asked him about Mike Kendrea, asked him about his goals as a coach, and Patrick Murphy said, I want to be like Mike. And that was something that ran throughout the papers in Tucson. And it's always been one of Patrick Murphy's goals to be like Mike Kendrea, not just on the field, but off the field. Coach Kendrea, truly one of the great people across this sport.
Both of those coaches do things the right way. They try to grow the game. They really care about softball, about the girls. And you can tell with Mike Kendrea, with the people that come through his program, the respect that they have for him, and that they want to come back. You've got Caitlin Lowe, came back to coach under him, now taking over their program. It's a large statement when you want to come back and coach with your old head coach.
Looks like we might have a little pitch comm issue for the Crimson Tide. Marley Giles was saying the watch ain't working. Had to get a new one from Lance McMahon. One of the new things in softball this year, electronic pitch calling available. Oh, 2 to Blaze Behringer. That scoots in low, 1 and 2. The senior from Arizona, transferred in from Ole Miss. 0 for 3 last night. Tricky play, Cahalan just in time. Two down here in the top of the second. And there you see Alabama head coach Patrick Murphy, 26 years in Tuscaloosa. 6-time SEC Coach of the Year, of course, the national championship back in 2012.
Enjoying an Uncrustable.
As we all should.
Getting refueled.
Allie Skaggs did not go, they'll say. Dan Rogers over there at first base. The All-American out of Louisville, Kentucky. Senior trying to get the bat going ahead of conference play. Average down to 271 this year.
The average certainly not where she wants it, but Arizona will head to Louisville next weekend for her homecoming, and if there's anything that's going to get you going, it might be your home crowd.
Yeah, Caitlin Lowe was telling us it was a trip they had to make. Allie Skaggs deserves to have a chance to play in her city. After this event, they will head up to Kentucky.
Well, Allie Skaggs is one of the staples of their program. They're a team that's been affected by the transfer portal, lost a couple players here and there, but she has been loyal, loves this program, and great for their culture.
Payoff from Jayla Torrance. That's ball 4. And keep in mind how the South Alabama game went in the second inning after 2 outs. A batter reached, and then the Jaguars had that RBI double. Torrance hoping that that doesn't occur here.
Taylor Beal had a big double last night in the left center gap.
Here's the sophomore. First pitch. There's Dowling. No issues this time around. Inning over. Still scoreless in Tuscaloosa. Wildcats. Pitched really well in relief and entered the game in a bases-loaded jam, got out of it without any runs scoring. Here she is with the bases loaded once again.
She kept Arizona in that ball game last night, trying to give her offense a chance. She's very experienced, pitched a lot at Kentucky. Trusts her stuff and knows how to hit her spots.
With the lefty Larissa Pruitt at the plate. And quickly an 0-2 count. Pruitt, the sophomore from Hartselle, Alabama. Hitting .250 on the year, 5 RBIs. This season, 1 for 1 with the bases loaded. Got her! Stoddard comes in and makes a statement, 2 down.
Miranda Stoddard goes right at Larissa Pruitt. 3 strikes in a row, out and then in, back out with this curveball right on the corner. Larissa Pruitt swings through it. And the thing about Miranda Stoddard is where she spots her pitches. None of them are left over the heart of the plate. They are spotted up on the corners, and it's tough for a hitter to barrel that up.
White snared at third, inning over. Stoddard has done it again. And we're still knotted up at 0. Championships. We were talking to Coach Lowe about this being the final season in the Pac-12, and she said they're excited about the future. They're excited about what the Big 12 will look like, but it is sad to see the conference disappear after this season.
For softball in particular, because the Pac-12 has really been the leader for so many years in our game. We've seen the SEC kind of rise in the past couple decades, but the Pac-12 set the blueprint, and Caitlin Lowe mentioned when she was younger that everybody wanted to go to what was then the Pac-10, and that's where you dreamed of playing, and to see it kind of just disappear is tough, and it's heartbreaking, but excited to see the new matchups that occur and the new rivalries that are born from that.
And Coach Lowe said they're still going to try and play some of those classic Pac matchups in the non-conference. I won't spoil anything, but they're going to try and do everything that they can to continue that tradition for those teams out west.
That gives them opportunities in the non-conference to schedule really tough teams that they may have not had the opportunity to before, especially because of the close proximity of some of them out there.
Paris Chica, Hevlin has to make a great throw. She did. Wow, Callie Hevlin.
That was an extremely difficult play from Callie Hevlin. She's going to her backhand. Jasmine Paris Chica has so much speed. She gets this ball up the middle, turns and makes a good throw, and the stretch by Emma Broadfoot. Wow, that was a great play.
And now more speed up. But Reagan Shockey will be retired by Jayla Torrance, 2 down. Dakota Kennedy, strikeout victim in the first. You talked about it, Kaylee. All Pac-12 last year. Conference all-freshman team. Preseason all-Pac this year. Kennedy, a little flare out to center, and that'll drop.
Good piece of hitting there by Dakota Kennedy to get her hands to that inside pitch. Just poking it out there in the outfield to try to start something with 2 outs.
And she sets up Carly Scoopin. Feels like Scoopin is due for a big moment at some point today. Now in the 2 games against Alabama, 0 for 4, and really nothing all too loud. Fairly quiet outs, but one of the best RBI producers in America.
She is the RBI producer in this lineup. So much experience, so much maturity. And you know she wants the bat in the big moments. So you definitely feel like she's due for something.
That one just missed. Torrance pulled the string but did not get the call. Skupin entering this tournament had been hitting .579 in the last 5 games, but 0 for 4 so far in Tuscaloosa. Trying to turn it around with a runner on. Hevlin couldn't secure the catch, but made the throw in time. And Ray Robertson and Kaylee Tao in the booth. Honored to be joined by the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Caitlin Lowe. And Coach, we've now seen 2 straight games where Miranda Stoddard has come in with the bases loaded and gotten out of jams. What makes her so strong in those big moments?
I think her composure, honestly, the experience that she has facing these big teams. She wants the ball in her hand in any moment, and just proud of the way she's competing right now.
Coach Lowe, the offense a little slow on both sides here in this game. What does your offense need to do to adjust and score some runs?
You know, we were taking some defensive swings. That was kind of my message last inning, and just being able to jump on people with our ace swings. I thought Scoop did a good job of it, and hopefully we can keep that rolling into the next inning.
Thank you for the time, Coach.
Thank you.
It's Arizona head coach Caitlin Lowe. And there's Miranda Stoddard in the circle, getting ready to face the top of the Alabama order. Such a pleasure to have another chat with Coach Lowe. Last night we talked about it, but in 3 years she's kind of seen it all. Took over for the legend Mike Candrea. Year 1, Arizona makes that great run to the Women's College World Series, and then last year missed the NCAA tournament. That's a lot to experience in a short amount of time as a head coach.
It's only going to make her better. I was so impressed when she took that team to the World Series in her first year, because it's extremely difficult to take over after a legend retires. It's hard to follow in those footsteps. And then last year, you know, she's a competitor. She's played at every level of this game, does not want to miss the NCAA tournament, but her and her team doing a cultural deep dive over the offseason to get back to those values and try to make it back to the World Series again.
Read the book Legacy, talked about what those values need to be for this program moving forward. Talked about avoiding what they call below-the-line behavior. This is a tricky play at deep short, but it's made by Beal. Incredible from the sophomore.
What a play by Taylor Beal in the hole, going over and fielding that ball cleanly. We've seen some awesome defensive plays on both sides of the ball. Jenna Johnson rolling this into the hole, and Taylor Beal with the backhand from her knee, gets up, throws it over to first, gets the out. That is an energy maker for your team when you make those plays.
First pitch high to Abby Dukeshire. 0 for 1 today. Ball 4. A 4-pitch walk from Stoddard. Not something you'll see very often from her. And a runner aboard for Alabama here in the third. That's the third time Arizona pitching has issued a free pass today.
I think it's the respect that they have for Abby Dugshire and what she did last night with that 2-run bomb in the first inning.
Nice comeback. First pitch strike to Bailey Dowling. Dowling popped up on the first pitch in the first. Change, hit to third. One play for Behringer. Dowling is retired.
Again, just a nicely pitched at bat from Miranda Stoddard. 3 pitches, gets the out. That was a nice changeup.
Callie Hevlin, a strikeout victim in the second. That was against Mannon. Now facing Stoddard.
If you're a young pitcher watching Miranda Stoddard in this game, I want you to pay attention to where her pitches are spotted up. I've just been so impressed. None of them are left over the middle, and that's what's causing these mishits and her success. It's right on the corner, right on the outside parts of the zone. So much control.
And like Coach Lowe talked about, the composure and now the speed. Catch made by Paris Chica in foul ground to end the inning. Defense, a huge season Pac-12 selections as anybody in the league. And I think based off of what we've seen, Kaylee, through the first month of the year, I would personally be stunned if Arizona finished down in the 6 hole in the conference, because they've looked like one of the sharper teams in the league this year.
Without a doubt, I think not making it to the NCAA tournament last year has really lit a fire under them this season. And they have some veterans who have went to the World Series, know what it takes to get there. And that program is one of the premier programs in college softball. They are never going to be okay with finishing 6th in the league. They're never going to be okay with not making the NCAA tournament. That is their expectation every single season. So, of course, I would expect them to finish better than that and to have a really great season and be back in that NCAA tournament.
Power and speed up and down the lineup. Power at the plate right now with Olivia DiNardo. She shows it off, but it's foul into a horde of UNI Panthers waiting for their game later on today.
And you know, Gray, talking about this being one of the premier programs, a lot of what makes them that is the support of their alumni and the legends that have come through there. And I thought something that was cool was Caitlin Lowe giving the team a project this year to connect with an alumni that's worn their jersey number.
DiNardo to left. One down. And Mike Candrea sitting with his old boss, Alabama Athletic Director Greg Byrne, who used to work over in Tucson at Arizona. I wonder what they're having a chat about
Would love to be a fly on the wall for that one. It's awesome that Greg Byrne is here knowing that College Game Day's in town over at Coleman Coliseum for Alabama basketball.
Easy play for Cahalan after the backhand, and Shep is quickly retired. It's one of the great things about this sport, the relationships that span. It's a big world, but a small world at the same time. And you talked about the alumni, the names for Arizona. People like Kenzie Fowler, who we've seen here this weekend, who actually on Thursday was officially announced to be joining the Arizona Hall of Fame and told by her former coach, Mike Candrea.
There are so many awesome players that have come through Arizona, and who wouldn't want to play for Mike Candrea and now for Caitlin Lowe. I got to play a summer with Athletes Unlimited champion Deja Mulipola and with Jessie Harper, who hit so many home runs in her career at Arizona. But they had nothing but great things to say about that program.
Some of the great folks like Tony Mascarenas, Jenny Dalton-Hill. A proud program in Tucson.
And we haven't even mentioned Jenny Finch.
Jenny Finch, of course. That called foul. Blaze Behringer 0 for 1. Had a ground out back in the second. That happened on the fourth pitch of the at-bat. This time around, making Torrance work even a little bit harder. And Torrance finishes her off. There's the changeup to end the inning. And Kaylee Tao, pleased to be joined by Alabama head coach Patrick Murphy. And coach, you went back to Jayla Torrance in the circle for this game after she took the loss earlier today. What have you liked about her response here against the Wildcats?
She's been really good. I think she's getting ahead of everybody. Her pitches are moving. Her changeup is really good. You know, we don't play again until Saturday, I think. So you might see Miss Beaver here as well.
Coach Murphy, Abby Dukeshire, so much growth over the offseason. Big home run last night. What are you seeing from her?
Tao, you know, she's a great teammate to begin with. Great young lady, very good work ethic. But you know, when we went to Italy this summer, she worked her butt off before we went, and then we were together for about 22 days. Continued to work. Michelle Diltz did a great job in the weight room with her this fall, and the biggest improvement was her strength. And then Adam Marber has done great things with her hitting, and you know, competitive. She's top notch. She's just like you. So all her hard work is paying off right now.
Thank you for joining us,
hey,
Coach.
Thanks a lot, you guys.
It's Alabama head coach Patrick Murphy, waxing poetic about Abby Dukeshire, who had the big swing last night. The two-run homer in the first that held up. And as we get later in this game, the question becomes who on either side will have the big swing in this one. Someone has to do it. The question is who? Is it Marley Giles, who will lead off the bottom of the fourth? She walked back in the second. Giles has a big swing in her. It's gone! Right on cue. Solo homer, and Alabama's on the board in the fourth.
Gray, you called it. What a swing from Marley Giles. She makes the adjustment for Alabama, gets the big swing they've been looking for. This is an outside pitch. She gets her barrel to it. It's belt high. And that is so much strength to drive that ball out of the park on the opposite side of the field. What a swing, what a hit from Marley Giles.
And she gets the big hat, her 4th home run of the year. And Alabama has the 1-0 lead. Emma Broadfoot singled in the 2nd. And it really is amazing, Kaylee. You know, we talk so much about situational hitting. Alabama has had so many chances all day today, including the South Alabama game. And then the hit finally comes. Nobody's on base, but Marley Giles able to find a way with that solo shot.
Good pitching can stifle good hitting, and that's what we've seen all weekend at the Rhodes House. Olivia Lackey earlier stifling Alabama's offense.
Well, look at Broadfoot wait on the change, but that's right to Kennedy for out number 1.
But again, all the production we've seen between Alabama and Arizona has been home runs. Nobody has come through with runners on 2nd and 3rd and got a double or a single. It's been the big bombs.
Cahalan to Skaggs, who's a vacuum over there at 2nd, 2 away. Two gone for Larissa Pruitt, who struck out in the 2nd with the bases loaded. She was the first batter to face Stoddard. So far, a strong response by the right-hander in the circle for Arizona after giving up that home run.
The strikeout of Pruitt with the bases loaded when she came in was a big situation and a big statement, and she's just been calm under pressure both last night and today.
Some action in the Arizona bullpen. Allie Blanchard warming up. But Stoddard sure looks good after that home run. She closes with a strikeout, but Marley, the Wildcats, will lead off with the All-American Allie Skaggs, who you played with back in the day, Kaylee Tao.
Yeah, I have a great story about Allie Skaggs. In between games at one of my tournaments in high school, a mom came up to me and was like, Kaylee, you're going to Alabama. That's so awesome. Being from the state of Kentucky, my daughter is playing. She really wants to play at a high level, but doesn't get many opportunities right now. And that girl was Allie Skaggs. And a couple years later, Allie came and picked up with my team when I was a senior, and she hit for the cycle, and I knew she was going to be special. And she has been just that, returned to her parents' alma mater at Arizona. Became an All-American Gold Glove winner. And another one of those legends in a long line of awesome alums.
And I love the reaction of Caitlin Lowe when you were telling that story on our call. The joy on her face when you said, and that girl was Allie Skaggs. So excited. Torrance, little PFP for out number 1.
Nice job by Jayla Torrance staying in that at bat, getting the ground ball out. But yeah, great. You could just tell she was so excited to talk about Allie, and Skaggs hitting this one hard back at the circle. But Jayla Torrance is good at that PFP, pitcher fielding practice. Shoots it over to first for the out.
Ball 1 to Taylor Beal. Jayla Torrance's senior day. They did all the celebrating before the South Alabama game. Beal, base hit back up the middle.
Good piece of hitting there by Taylor Beal. She's done well on the pitches up in the zone. Gets her hands on top of that one, sends it back up the middle, right on time.
Well, and you teased it as we went to break. Arizona is just remarkable at answering back. We shared the response stat during last night's broadcast. So when you score in the immediate half inning after your opponent does, you know, and typically I chart that for a lot of teams. I chart it for every team that we're broadcasting. Typically you'll see marks around 30 to 40%, which I consider fairly good. Arizona has answered back 18 out of 25 possible times, including last night.
It is just remarkable, and that's going to help them in Pac-12 play, in the NCAA tournament, because teams are going to score on you. It's going to happen, and it's how you respond to it, and they've proved so far that they can do that.
And they've got a lot of speed about to step in. Paris Chica at the plate, Shockey on deck. Kennedy waiting in the wings. Cahalan will fire to second, and the lead runner is retired on a sharp play by the shortstop.
Good heads-up play by Kinley Cahalan to get the runner at second. You could tell she was thinking two all the way, trying to look it in her glove and then make a good throw over to second. Nice job to erase the lead runner.
Here's Shockey. Led off the game with a base hit. A ground out since. And the very speedy Paris Chica standing at first. Shockey on the year, hitting .533 with runners on base.
Jayla Torrance has done well on the inside half of the plate. Two lefties. There you saw it, and that's a risky pitch because if you don't get it in there, it's left over the heart of the plate, but she has spotted it up well.
The 1-2. Got her. Giles has to throw to first. And the inning ends. A strikeout once again for Torrance. She's got 3. And Alabama leads 1. We talked about the amazing story of Stoddard, how it kind of took a little luck to even find the timing to apply and get into Arizona. Talked to Coach Lowe the day of the deadline. Just so happened to be in the Tucson area, was visiting her boyfriend, who was a volleyball manager for Arizona. And she's been really sharp all weekend outside of the home run by Marley Giles, which was more great hitting than a mistake pitch.
That pitch was still a good spot on the outside corner, but Marley Giles, so much power, so much strength.
9-1-2 for Alabama. Kristen White trying to use her speed and get on base. Tough weekend so far for White. In the Arizona games, they combined 0 for 4. Did have a hit against Northern Iowa back on Thursday. Sharply up the middle. The throw is just in time from the center fielder Shockey for out number 1.
Impressive defense in the infield by Reagan Shockey, coming in, fielding a ground ball, and making a really good throw over to first. You could tell she had to speed up there to get the speed of Kristen White. But I thought for a second that was actually Allie Skaggs because of how good the ground ball was defended by an outfielder.
A defense has been spectacular for both sides, really all day. Jenna Johnson knows about that. She grounded out in the third on a play by Beal made almost in the grass. That was just spectacular. Oh for 2 here today. Fouled off the foot. You know, and I wanted Kaylee to talk about something Patrick Murphy said in our interview. He mentioned you might see Kayla Beaver again today, and now you get into that always interesting situation where they saw Beaver last night. Torrance is pitching pretty well in this game. You don't want to make a move that might end up being the wrong one.
That's why they don't pay us the big bucks.
We'll just sit here and talk about it.
But Patrick Murphy has a large staff, and he's been using that reliever role this season.
Yeah, and Patrick Murphy was very open about that at the beginning of the year. You know, the first season without Montana Fouts since 2019, but the biggest pitching staff he's ever had. And he said in the preseason he's not afraid to use as many arms as possible. Here you see the All-American Montana Fouts out on the wall.
Well, the hitting is just so good these days. And the way that lineups make adjustments, it's really hard for pitchers to throw complete games. And we're seeing more and more teams pitch by committee. Not really being able to ride that one arm the whole season, and Patrick Murphy looking to do that in 2024.
Another foul off of Johnson. Yeah, Montana Fouts, one of a couple key losses for the Crimson Tide. Allie Shipman, who's also on the wall. Ashley Prangy, now an assistant coach at UAB, team that knocked off Ole Miss last night. But to your point about pitching by committee, Arizona kind of having to do that as well this year after injuries. We had the spectacular freshman Ryan Maddox announced that she would be out for the year just a few days before the season began. Have not seen Devin Netz this year, dealing with an injury. Sydney Summerdike hurt as well. So Stoddard has stepped in and thrown a lot for the Wildcats, and she continues to look sharp in relief, 2 down.
That's always really tough, too, whenever it's so close to season and you announce that you're going to miss the entire season. Your team was kind of building around what they thought the look and the feel would be, and then it just completely changes. But Miranda Stoddard is ready for it and poised for her opportunity.
And also a challenge for the first-year pitching coach, Christian Conrad. Came over after working at Loyola Marymount. Spent time at Florida State learning from Lonnie Alameda. Also time at Oregon. And for your first season as a pitching coach, to be dealt the hand he's been dealt, where you've had so many arms not be able to go to this point this year, that's a lot of adjusting that you have to do.
It makes me think about Lance McMahon last year with Alabama and the injury to Montana Fouts and him having to navigate that. It's really tough, but it's almost welcome to the big leagues. Like, stuff happens, champions adjust. And Christian Conrad is a well-respected name in the softball world. He knows what he's doing.
You mentioned champions adjust. I don't think it's a coincidence that we've heard both head coaches in this game say that to us in the last 3 days or so. These programs, in many ways, very similar. Arizona celebrating a 50th anniversary. Alabama in the 28th year as a softball program. Abby Dukeshire trying to start something with 2 outs. That'll drop in foul ground. This game right now, not the only Pac-12 SEC matchup currently rolling. Out west, California currently leads top 5 Georgia 6-2 in the bottom of the 5th. We'll also see later tonight Georgia and Stanford out on the farm. That is one I will be tuning into.
I am so excited for that matchup. We just love good softball. No matter who it is, no matter what conference. I love to watch it.
Dukeshire in the air. That's got some carry, but Shockey makes the catch. A step in front of the warning track to retire the side. Through 5, Alabama's the adjustment game. How quickly can the Arizona hitters adjust to that changeup?
This is exactly the combo we saw in the South Alabama game. Patrick Murphy likes the combination of Jayla Torrance and Haley Johnson. She threw them a heavy dose of changeups last night, and Arizona definitely knows that.
Starts off with a change that misses. There you see the line from last night. 1 inning, a couple strikeouts. Threw 3 innings and had 2 Ks earlier against South Alabama. Also 1 walk. And she is facing 2-3-4. Kennedy currently at the plate. Skupin and DiNardo wait in the wings. Kennedy takes the walk, and a leadoff on for Arizona here in the 6th. First time the first batter of the inning has reached since the 1st.
We talked about how Carly Skupin was due. Here she is with an opportunity.
That hits Skupin. Just like that, 2 on, nobody out for Arizona.
Haley Johnson struggling with control early in her appearance here. Curveball. Scoots into the batter's box and hits Skupin on her Evo shield. I think we're going to see a pinch runner.
And I believe that's Allie Blanchard, who was warming up in the pen just a bit ago and now in to run for Skupin. The transfer from Princeton out of Lincoln, Rhode Island. Interesting scenario for Olivia DiNardo. 2 on, nobody out. You've got a power hitter at the plate. RBI chances for sure, but at the same time, if you're Arizona, this has to be something productive that moves the runners.
Agree, and it's getting late in this game. They need a productive out at least. They need to move these runners because once you get a runner over to third, a pop out would score that runner and tie this game up.
Oh-2 from Johnson. Did she go? She did. Huge strikeout for Ailey Johnson. 1 down.
Great response by Ailey Johnson. Throws 2 hard pitches for strikes and then uses nothing other than her changeup at the knees, and Olivia DiNardo just cannot hold back. Great job by Ailey Johnson.
Emily Shep, 0 for 2 today, way out in front. She had the home run off of Kayla Beaver last night. In the air to right. There's Pruitt. 2 down. And Arizona, after getting the first 2 on, has 2 unproductive outs.
It's the spin of Ailey Johnson. She's hard to time up. She's hard to figure out, hides the ball really well, and has been awesome in the relief role for Alabama. Clearly unfazed by the runners on.
Blaze Behringer, 0 for 2. Crowd did not like that ball call.
This one's really close in the river. Could have went either way, but she comes back and gets a strike.
This would be quite something from Ailey Johnson after the way this inning began. Nastiness, 1 and 2. And time called by Josh Bloomer. Arizona today, 0 for 9 with runners on base. Last night, the Wildcats were 0 for 9 with runners on base against Alabama.
Where the outfielders are playing is really interesting right now. A ground ball would for sure score a run. They're playing a no double defense, respecting the power of Blaze Behringer.
Full count.
Another really close pitch from Ailey Johnson. The changeup floats in just a tad too high.
Behringer pops it up. This could be trouble, but there's Jenna Johnson soaring in to make the catch. And Arizona misses a great chance. The Florida Gators, a rivalry renewed to open up conference play. The ACC is already underway here this weekend. It's amazing how fast it all flies by once the season finally starts. And now next weekend we can start getting some answers about what looks like a very deep and frankly quite jumbled SEC this year.
I agree with you. I was excited to watch Tennessee and Georgia. I thought they were really going to separate themselves at the top of this conference, but there has been some great showings from every team in the league. And just like you, I'm shocked that we're back to SEC play, but so excited for all the conference matchups. That's really when the excitement gets started. There you see SEC in the top 25. So many teams from top to bottom.
Stoddard starts off the 6th with a strikeout of Dowling. You see that list, and even still, we've watched a couple stunners fly by today. Even right now, Arkansas trails South Dakota State 6-3 in the 5th. Mentioned Cal leading Georgia presently, 6-2. Got a lot of teams in this league that can beat anybody, but also might take a loss here and there, and that means chaos in conference play, which is fun for us as the media. I'm sure the coaches probably don't love chaos.
Nor the players, but it's awesome for us.
Hevlin, another bunt laid down, and the throw gets away. Second on the team in RBIs. But Callie Hevlin has been using the small ball, and she stands on second with one out.
Callie Hevlin took a big hack for the first swing in this at bat and shocks everyone in the ballpark, laying down this bunt on a changeup. It is well played, deadens the ball out in front of home, and the overthrow allows her to scoot into second. And I think she got her hand stepped on, which was the little havoc we saw there, but a runner at second with one out, and the second great bunt that we've seen from Hevlin today.
And it sets up Marley Giles, who had the big swing in this game, the solo homer in the fourth. Giles 1 for 1, also had a walk in the second. We have spent so much time today talking about Alabama hitting in these moments. Now including today, here in the Crimson Classic, Alabama is 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Can they find the insurance here in the sixth?
And even though they found a way to win last night, and they're up 1 run today, that's not where you want that number to be at any point in the season, but especially not heading into conference play.
Stoddard goes back to back. 2-2. After the bunt single by Hevlin and the throwing error by Miranda Stoddard, a runner in scoring position with one out for Marley Giles. Just missed.
Great spot and good take.
Payoff. Fights off the changeup. You see the numbers today. Both teams 0 for with runners in scoring position. Both teams 0 for in both matchups with runners in scoring position. Alabama 0 for this weekend with runners in scoring position. Giles. Stoddard thought about it and then fired to first. 2 down, Hevlin stands on third. Time called by Arizona. Alabama on the year hitting .217, but .333 with runners in scoring position. The base hit would bring in Callie Hevlin. Nasty, 1-1.
Brandon Stoddard has started throwing a lot more changeups late into this game.
Goes back to it, and it hops in, 2-2. Broadfoot to center, and Shockey is there to end the inning. Alabama misses a chance for more. Last chance for Arizona. 2-0 win earlier today, and now Alabama trying to answer and hold off Arizona for the second time this weekend. The Wildcats have the bottom of the order due up, starting off with Allie Skaggs, the All-American, and Ailey Johnson trying to finish off what's been a great weekend in the circle for her.
That changeup just continues to impress. It is so good.
Broadfoot looking for it, what a catch! A lot of traffic, but Emma Broadfoot gets a huge first out to retire the All-American.
Wow, Emma Broadfoot over the shoulder in foul ground, navigating the fence. And that's a big out of someone who could have tied this game with one swing. Great job by Emma Broadfoot over at first.
And Patrick Murphy calls time and runs out with the lineup card. It looks like he will make a change.
In a game and having Florida come in this weekend is at play here. Patrick Murphy wanted to get all his pitchers in today. Make sure that Kayla Beaver gets to face some batters and close out this game.
Jayla Torrance got the start, went 5 innings. Ailey Johnson, a strong relief appearance yet again. And now Kayla Beaver, with 1 down and the bases clear, will face the 8-hitter, Taylor Beal. Beal is 1 for 2 with a single. Did have that double last night against Beaver.
I like Patrick Murphy's approach in this game with his pitchers, not letting Arizona get too comfortable. Brings in an extremely different look in Ailey Johnson, and then back up to the 70-mile-per-hour pitches from Kayla Beaver.
Well, going into last night, Kayla Beaver had thrown 1 game against a Pac-12 school. That was back with Central Arkansas, a complete game shutout of Utah. Got the win last night against Arizona, trying to get the save against the Wildcats. Hevlin ate her up. The tying run is aboard here in the 7th.
Taylor Beal stung this ball, gets her barrel to it, and it takes a little bit of a bad hop on Callie Hevlin. Allows Beal to get herself on, and she's had a good day.
Looks like Arizona will go with a pinch hitter. hitting in the 9 spot. Kaya Altmaier, the sophomore. .320 average on the year. 1 homer, a double, 11 RBIs. Beal on first after the error by Hevlin.
Beaver just going right at her with those inside drop balls.
The 0-2 misses low and away, 1-2. And we bring back the situational hitting. Alabama pitching has gotten out of jams all day long. Arizona today 0 for 10 with runners on, 0 for 19 in the 2 games against the Crimson Tide. Back to Beaver, throw to second, double play, no! They'll say Altmaier beat it out.
Oh, Gray, are we gonna see a review?
Surely this won't happen again, but Patrick Murphy has come out and we'll see if he challenges. I do think it is a good challenge. Why not, right? I mean, you might as well. And they will take a look. Amazing that we are right back here once again. I see safe here. I'm also nervous.
I am hesitant to make a call. My eyes may deceive me. And the umpires do have different angles, different looks than we're able to see.
I'll tell you what, on that play, it was a great recovery by Beaver and also a strong recovery by Hevlin because there was a little miscommunication at second.
After review, the call on the field is upheld. The runner is safe.
And they will say she beat it out. We play on here in the 7th. Back to the top of the order with the fantastic freshman, Reagan Shockey. To Beaver. Alabama wins. Another duel with the Arizona Wildcats goes the way of the Crimson Tide.